Thank you so much for tuning in, folks, to this session. And we would love to welcome Aashika. Aashika, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, folks, as you know, our series is generally divided into three buckets. The first one's usually to hear more about the journey, right? Why product management? Why did Ashika get interested in this? She also has an MBA degree from Xavier, so we'd love to, hear about how that impacted. How did that help her land into product? And in case you are looking to do an MBA degree, whether it is really necessary or not. The second one is where we jump right into the meat of this particular series, which is essentially hearing more about the interviews that she had at Paytm Money and Freecharge. We learn more about how many rounds are there, what are the kind of rounds, what are the kind of questions, and how you can prepare for it. The last section is some fun questions and some neat tips and tricks that you won't find in any books out there. So Ashika, looking forward to all the insights. To kick things off, Ashika currently is a product manager with Paytm Money. She was earlier with Freecharge. Just like I shared, she graduated with an MBA degree from Xavier's. And with that, Ashika, would love to hear a little more about that early journey, right? How did you decide to get into product? What other options were you looking at? And how's your journey been so far?
Thank you, Suhas, for such a great introduction. Hi, I'm Aashika, as Suhas mentioned. I currently work as a product management at Paytm Money. I handle MF payments over there. So it's been around 3 years in the product management, and it has been a wonderful journey so far. I have worked across three companies, and the experiences over the three companies have been same to some extent and different to a large extent. So basically the product management was luck by chance. Like I got a IT sales job from the campus. In the few months I realized that this is not something that I would want to do for my entire life, so I started looking out. Then I got a opportunity with Fisdom. I was interviewed over there, and luckily I got a role of business analyst and product over there. For the initial few months, I was working as a business analyst, but soon, based on my interest and my skill sets, I made a transition from a business analyst to a pure product role. Post that, I have been working in the product role. After Fisdom, I worked in the Freecharge. I launched their buy now pay later. Currently, I handle the end-to-end payments or mutual funds at Paytm Money.
Very interesting, right? So, breaking in the non-traditional route, of course, you did have an MBA degree, but what do you think the impact of the degree, or do you think you would have been able to get into these kind of roles even without the MBA degree?
I think yes. While MBA is an add-on skill which definitely helps you in your day-to-day progress or in the day-to-day activities, but I'll not say that it's a make or break game. So at Paytm Money, at Freecharge, we have a mix of bunch. Some of them are from engineering, some of them are MBA. So it's not like you need an MBA degree, but obviously the skills which you learn at MBA degree, like the stakeholder management, the PPTs, the how to present your ways, your thought process, the refinement of the thought process, obviously helps you in the course of journey at for product management.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that structured thinking is definitely important. Ashika, now you're probably at, where you worked at pretty coveted companies, right? Paytm Money, probably leading the charge. You've been in the fintech space with Freecharge and Fisdom earlier. So, before we dig into, how did the interview process look like? Is there something you planned for, like fintech, or is that again by chance that you entered? So, how do you plan your career around that? Like today, Paytm Money, tomorrow something else, but how do you look at it?
Okay. So when you say fintech, so it is like the product management as a role has a biasness for the domain you have worked in. When I say biasness, usually lateral hiring happens for the domain which you have worked on. So while Fisdom was a luck by chance, the opportunities that I got after Fisdom was purely based on my past experience. One of the reasons that I chose Paytm was the kind of role they were offering me. Payments is more of a generic role. It is not just limited to a pure play fintech, but every industry demands a payment So yeah, in the future,
Especially for folk looking to transition laterally, I think one of the important things is the domain experience they bring can be like a good positive for them, right? So if you worked as a software engineer, a business analyst, a growth guy, but on a particular company in say travel tech or fintech, health tech, med tech, it might be easier for them to transition into a product role in that same space rather than completely new.
correct.
That I think is a great point you mentioned.
So I would like to even highlight the
Yeah.
one point for the persons who are looking. Be very specific about the domain you enter in. So while it is a broad umbrella product management, but it is further divided into the domains. Like it's as Suhas mentioned, it's health tech, it's ed tech, it's fintech. So choose your domains based on your interest carefully, because after Fisdom, I got very few opportunities outside the fintech space. So yeah, make your decision wisely.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Ashka, digging right in, right? Free charge, and we'll focus on free charge and Paytm money for this particular episode. How did those interview experiences look like? Were you applying to more places, and these are the ones you finalized? How did you pick these? And on the second bit, would love to hear the interview experience, right? How did the rounds look like? What are the questions like? How should people prepare for these rounds?
So I would say that I have been extremely grateful that I got a chance to work at two of the most coveted fintech companies in the India, Freecharge and Paytm Money. So I'll start with the Freecharge experience first. So I got the interview chance by a referral, like. A friend knew someone in Freecharge and he referred me. That's how I got an interview opportunity. The first round was with the senior product manager. It was mostly around the edtech case study. The agenda of that case study was basically to know how good I am at my problem solving skills. A problem statement was given and I was asked how would I approach that problem statement, which is usually the core responsibility of the product manager as well. The second round was with the program manager. So at Freecharge, there is a program manager and product managers work very closely with each other. So a product manager is usually tested for his program management skills as well. So the interview revolved on the mostly the questions on how well I understand the overlap between the product and the program management, and the usual day-to-day questions around the product management in my past experience. There was no case study involved in that particular round. The third and the final round was with the senior director at Freecharge. I would say that that was the most toughest round. It was very short, but it was to the point. I was mostly judged on my understanding of how well I understood the metrics and my understanding of the overlap between the marketing and the product management. uh, so one of the, I would say, the most important job of a product management is to identify and implement and improve the metrics of the product on which he or she is working upon. So yeah, and also I was asked to design the marketing plan for a product which was there in their pipeline. So yeah, that's how.
Kind of rounds that people can expect for, like how many rounds are usually there, what are the kind of questions that are asked, and if there is anything. I know like most product interviews they have like these books, these videos, but anything that particularly helped you crack any of these interviews, we'd love to hear
Correct,
that.
correct.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that really helped me was how well I understood the problem statement and how efficiently I was able to divide the problem statement into the parts. One advice that I would give to anyone who is planning to appear for a product manager is don't directly jump into the solutions. Rather than what is you are being judged upon, your process of arriving at the solution rather than the solutions itself. So first try to understand that what the interviewer is asking you or what he's actually looking for. Then try to ask the questions. If you don't make assumptions, because sometimes that is taken in a negative manner. Ask the correct appropriate questions, and then just structure the problem in a correct way. It's been around 3 years in the product management, and one thing I could surely say that I was never judged upon my technical abilities. I have always been judged upon how well I was able to solve the problems. And secondly, whenever you are approaching the problem, put yourself in the shoes of the customer. Don't think you are a product manager, but think you are a customer, and how well would you want, how would you want the problem to be solved. If you are able to do that correctly, then the likelihood of arriving at the solution is very high. Secondly, focus upon the metrics, and not just upon the business metrics, but on the customer centric metric itself. So whenever I approached a problem, I usually divided the metrics into two parts: what the company wants and what the customer wants, and how both can be married together in order to arrive at a common solution.
Got it. That's interesting. Maybe now we jump right into the Paytm Money one. If you could share, how did that look like, right? Post free charge, were you looking out for other opportunities? Did this come inbound? And what are the, again, like, what are the kind of questions and the rounds that were different at Paytm Money?
Correct. So interestingly, the opportunity at Paytm Money also came via referral. So a colleague of mine at Fisdom, who was earlier working at Paytm Money, referred me. While I had a fintech experience, so they interviewed me. Similar to Freecharge, there were 3 rounds at Paytm Money as well. The first round was with the senior manager. Um, there he asked me in depth about my day-to-day responsibilities as a product manager at Fisdom and Freecharge, like how well I understood how to plan the spreads, how well I understood how to write the PRDs, how well I understood Zira, how well I was with APIs. But that was expected because I had around 2.5 years of product management experience. That won't be expected from a fresher, or who is looking for a lateral switch from another domain. So there was no case study involved, but there was but I was understood, but a product from my past experience was pegged, and the person was trying to understand that from start to end, how well how when we went from journey, like right from the ideation to the implementation part, how well we were with our journeys. So yeah, and also the question was asked that why solution A was picked and why not solution B was picked, what was our approach behind that. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. How did your preparation look like for both these interviews? Like, what did your process look like?
So mostly I focused upon going through my past experience, and also I tried reading about the case studies which are available online. I tried understanding how different people approach the case studies, and I tried going through the thought process, not in terms of the step by step journey, but what approach they plan, and it really helped me in the case study. So what I'll suggest everyone, pick any app which you think has a real life problem, be it Swiggy, be it Zomato, be it Tenzo, and spend some time on solving that problem. This would really help you in so I feel that now my brain works like that. Whenever I open an app now, I try to see what could have been better, or why it is like that, why a particular banner is placed over here, why not there, why did product management not think like that. And I think that kind of thinking really helped me in cracking the case study solution, because your brain starting thinking like that. So that's one suggestion. What another suggestion I'll give, which is similar to that, is study the apps you use in depth. Why it is designed, why that is the font color, why this is the journey, how it could have been better. Notice the bugs, like if any app is having a downtime, how that is handled. So this kind of things really helped.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, right? Like, just building that intuition, right? By next time you open an app, something you feel isn't going perfectly right, just document that. And never know, if it's an early stage startup, just documenting that and sharing it with the team might just,
Correct.
might land you an opportunity as well. So
In
that's
fact, that
another.
happened with me.
Nice.
So I was going through an app, and I really found that the process to be very smooth. And I wrote about it on my LinkedIn and tagged the company. Within few days, I got an opportunity, interview opportunity at the very same company. So this really helps. But I was not looking for something at that time, so I
Yeah,
did not pursue it. But
got
for
it.
the people who are really looking out, this can be a good chance. This can be a non-traditional way of entering into product management.
Exactly, exactly. I think that's a great point. Um, Ashika, probably jumping into the third segment, which is, we've heard about your interview experiences, we've heard about, some questions and some tips and tricks to prepare. But now, jumping right in, now you're working as a product manager, right? You've broken into product, you've been there for 2, 3 years now. What are some things that you find interesting about this space, and what are some things that you think are, different from what you've read about product management? Oftentimes, we come across blogs, we come across Twitter threads, we come across books, right? Product management there theoretically versus what you are doing in life, do you see there is some difference in that operation, or do you think no, I mean, it's pretty close to what you expected?
So I'll start with the first part, that what excites me about the product management. The thing that excites me that I'm solving a problem which would be used by such a wide variety of audience. I'm building something that would help thing really excite me. So whenever I launch a new product or I work upon a feature, I call my family and say, "Kid, I have built this. This is my product." So that kind of pride or that kind of satisfaction, I feel is not there in other kind of job, because you mostly work from the back end. Like you are not the face, or you are not directly interacting with the customers. So that is what excites me about the product management.
Right.
Secondly, I'll jump into how different is the theoretical product management from the practical product management. I'll say it's a lot of different, because firstly, no book or no course can anticipate the kind of scenarios or the kind of situations you face. Only the real groundwork can help you do that. So we have to do a lot of firefighting, like this is not working out or this is not working. We cannot, but there are certain things we cannot implement because of the various different regulations in the fintech industry. um, yeah, but I think whatever course or whatever books are there now, that helps you lay your basics. When I say basics, it means that help you understand the problem in detail. Yeah, and many of the tools which help me reach to the solution. Like I learned SQL from the course, which helped me analyze the data. So I'll say that all these tools or frameworks are the helping agents, or are an aid in solving the problem. But finally, it's your experience or it's your day-to-day learnings that help you finally solve the problem.
Got it, got it. Ashika, from people who reach out to you, say for a referral or mock interviews or just some help into how to break into product, might be many people who reach out via LinkedIn or other channels, or you may be your friends, right, peers. What are some common things that you find missing in today's ecosystem? What is something that you see as a common pattern that people are not covering in which you think might be important for others here to hear?
So one thing which I feel is really missing is why product management. So I feel that product management is the hot skill, and that's why most people want to actually enter into the product management. While I have interviewed many people and they really don't know what is actually a job of a product manager, and they want to work in a product management. So I think, to everyone who is listening this video, I'm not saying that aspiring to a product manager is wrong, but I'm saying knowing what does a product manager do and how different is the job profile from what you hear, and are you ready to do that? And if this is that really interests you, then you should go for it.
Got it. Yeah, I think there's definitely a rush for lots of people looking to break into product for sure. But I think it's completely okay, especially early into your career. You can start off with parallel fields. There are lots of lateral fields. You can go into business analyst, you can become a designer, and then probably break into product. So you have
Yeah,
deeper under. Yeah,
correct. But that is what I'm trying to make a point, that read books, listen to videos, try to understand product management in deeper detail, and then take a
correct.
conscious call.
Exactly, 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 exactly. Yeah, no, that way I think it's been interesting. Ashika, this was a fantastic chat. I'd love to, leave you with one last question, which is on the lines of you've been here for 2, 3 years now. What are some resources or some tips and tricks that, of course, not there out there in the different blogs that you've come across that you think might be interesting for some of these folks in general? Like it might be related to product management or just general career, because lots of them tuning in are early stage professionals. So anything that you think from your current experience that they can learn from?
Correct. Firstly, be diligent, be reliable. This is not specific to product management, but I have realized being reliable or being someone whom your manager can depend upon is a very underrated skill. Secondly, for product management, I'll suggest to develop that kind of band by analyzing the products into deeper. So suppose someone studies an MVP concept, then I would suggest then read about MVP concept and try to analyze an app, how it went from an MVP phase to a mature product. So yeah, the linking of the theoretical example with the practical example is something that one should go. And
Right.
yeah,
No, for sure. Yeah, please go on. Sorry, I didn't mean
no,
to.
that's all from my hand. Yeah.
Got it. No, thanks so much, Ashika. I think this was a fantastic chat. For folks who want to reach out to you post this interview, and if you have any other resources, what are the best ways? We probably add a link to the description. So, what
Sure,
is the
sure.
best way to reach out? LinkedIn would be the best way.
LinkedIn would be the best way. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ashika. I think this was a fantastic chat. Folks, do definitely reach out to Ashika in case you're looking to grow in the fintech space or in general exploring opportunities at Paytm Money. Do check out the description, and yeah, do reach out to her. Thanks once again, Ashika.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for this opportunity. It was great talking to you.
No, thanks so much.